just on site, about to start first fixing the downstairs lights. So let's run through the plan on the lights and how and why I've designed it that way. Hi there, so let's look at our plan. Now, as ever, sketch your floor plan out. We're using the architect's sketch that we use for planning permission here. Let's quickly look at the main feed, going from the shooner unit, going around to all the main lights, then we'll look at each room in detail. So we come from the consumer unit to the first light, the outside light. Then we need to go and we need to take permanent light power to the next light. Then these kitchen undercovered lights, then the kitchen lights themselves, then this lavatory light, then into the extension, and then it's the outside lights. So that is your basic radial. Now it gets a bit more complicated. So let's look at each room in detail. So the living room, which currently is a bit of a skip. You don't need a whole lot of light in a living space, and a lot of the light would be lit accent lights, as in lamps beside your sofa, rather than ceiling lights. So the only ceiling light I'm going to put in is this pendant in the middle of the room. So the pendant goes there. I obviously need a switch by the door as I come in the room, and another switch over here as I leave the room, or vice versa. So it's a 2-cord down to this one and a 3-cord to this one, so I can get two-way switching. Now the next bank of lights is these undercovered lights. This will probably really be to the transformer for this one, and it's just going to be on a single switch there. So the kitchen's going to be on that wall. Look a bit like that. So the switch will just go on this wall. For the kitchen light, you need an awful lot of light because you need a high, it's a workspace, so it's got to be bright, so we're putting a lot of lights in here. Roughly we're putting them a metre apart. So we've kind of got a bank of 9. So we've done equal spaces there and equal spaces there, which puts them just shy of the metre apart. So the main power comes into this one. Now for the switching, again we need switching going in and out of the room. So we need to bring our 2-cord down to the first switch and our 3-cord off to the other switch, so we've got two-way switching again. Now because we've got a big bank of lights all connected up on one switch, we need kind of a little switch loop here that connects all the lights when you're switching. Now I said the kitchen's on the bank of 9, it's not really, because the 9th one is actually the toilet. Now this is why it's good to plan your lights out on a piece of paper, because my toilet's not even there yet. So the power comes into the toilet light. It just needs a single way switching on this one. So the fan needs power, so you will need to take a supply off the permanent light and the switch live to operate your fan. And generally speaking, it's best to put that on an isolator. So we'll probably have an isolator just by the door there. So moving on from the kitchen, we go to the dining room, which at the minute it's not even there yet. It's going to be the extension past those doors. I'm just going to use downlights again. The homeowner would use I would expect anyway, a layered light system. So they'll have lamps and standard lamps and things like that to get a nice ambient feel. But this gives you a nice bright enough space for when you're having your dinner basically. And we'll probably put it on a dimmer as well, so they've got a little bit of control over it. So again, we've got the power coming in. We need a switch by the entrance, switch by the exit. So we've got the 2-cord to the first switch and the 3-cord into the second switch. And again, because we've got a bank of lights, we just need a little switched loop there to connect them all together. And then the final thing on the circuit is the outside lights. Now these ones will be on a switch because you don't want it on a sensor, because you've sat on the patio, you don't want them turning on and off as they sort of do and don't detect you. So the main power comes into the first light, we switch down, we only need a single way switch here because you're going outside, so you're either in or out. and then just a little switch loop to the second lamp on the other side of the patio door when it goes in. I highly recommend sketching out the lights. Sockets you can probably get away with, but the lights, because of all the 2 cores and 3 cores, see, I just sort of colour code mine, so I know the dark green's my main loop going round, that's a 2 core. My initial switch wires in blue, again that's 2 core, and then my 2-way switches, I need a bit of 3 core for that, and then just all the lights looping around, a little bit of 2 core there. And it also gives me my shopping list as well. As you can see there, I know what I need to go and buy from the shop. So there you go, that's how I design the lights for this house. It is more of an art than a science. There's no definitive looks for each room. So you just got to work out what you think works best. So I hope that was useful. See you on the next one. Bye bye. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Thanks. See you on the next one.